Good people, what is going on? Another episode of the All Go Podcast. I'm your host, Desmond. The NFC East. Who is going to win it? I don't think that's any secret. I would say most people are going to say the Philadelphia Eagles, and they would be right. The Eagles are, I think, they are the best team in the NFL. Top to bottom, you go position by position. There's a lot of talk right now. Is Jalen Hurts a top 5 quarterback? I have a video on that with my thoughts on it and why I think he either is or isn't. But they're loaded. I mean, Howie Roseman has done a terrific job of not only building that roster with just talent top to bottom. It's in a lot of different ways. Like, some of it is young guys that they drafted. Jalen Carter, for example, Jordan Davis, Cooper DeJean. Who's the corner I'm missing from Toledo? I'm so sorry, I forgot his name just off the top. But then you also have guys that you went out and acquired, and A.J. Brown, who you've since extended. Devontae Smith has been extended, and Saquon Barkley, you were able to get him via free agency. So it's just, he's done a terrific job just all around. It's a masterclass of building a roster, and he's done a terrific job with that. And with what he's done, I think he's built the best team in the NFL. So I think that the Eagles are the best team in the NFL, and I think they are absolutely going to win the NFC East. The team that I think is going to be last in the NFC East, I think, is the New York Giants. They have a top 5 pick or top 6 or 7 pick, and they ended up, who the heck did they draft in the first round? But the big story is the quarterback. They drafted Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss. Personally, I am not a Jackson Dart believer. That's just me. I think he's got the talent. I wonder what part of his success at Ole Miss was Lane Kiffin doing a great job of drawing up and scheming, guys open, which Lane Kiffin is terrific at that. And I think he's one of the best play callers in college football. But Lane's, he's terrific in doing that. But you just wonder with Jackson Dart, how his NFL brain is going to be working, right? Now, I don't mean that as a diss, but it's progression, right? It's reading a defense pre-snap. It's seeing where guys move post-snap. It's understanding where can we win? Where are my answers to, oh, shoot, I thought we had cover 3. They rolled the cover 2. Where's my answers? You have to understand that, know that. Also, terminology is a big deal too. I was talking with a friend of mine, Dre, and there's the pretty famous clip, and it might have been Hard Knocks, but it was Chris Sims trying to get the terminology with John Gruden, giving him the play. And I mean, Gruden's standing next to him and repeating the play to him, but it's such a long play that it's just difficult for Sims to do it. And he keeps screwing it up and messing it up, and Gruden's losing his mind. That's a big part of it. A lot of the RPO world and that terminology, it's made to be able to just only have a couple terms. Trips right, zone left, trips right, inside zone left, stick. You know what I mean? And a lot of those are just one phrase. It might not be exactly that, right? Because you can't say out loud, we're running zone left with stick. You got to have some code words, but it's not it's not like the Drew Brees and Sean Payton days as far as in college. You have a much more difficult terminology to remember when you get into the NFL. Now, on the plus side, they got Malik Neighbors. That dude is unreal. He is for sure a player, without a doubt. Their D-line, they are loaded. They are stacked. Brian Burns is a dude that I wanted for the Lions, but nonetheless, here we are. And they're talented, without a doubt. So they have some things that are going to go well, but as far as just top to bottom and playing in the NFC, you got 2 games against the Eagles. You got 2 games against the Commanders. You got 2 games against the Cowboys. And we'll see what happens. But in my guesstimation, I think they finish last in the division. I think a large part of that is going to be the quarterback. I just don't think that that Jackson Dart is going to be able to make enough consistent plays to get them, more than, I don't know, 5 or 6 wins, something in that range. Second place in the division is going to be the other representative in this past season's NFC Championship game, Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels has shown me all I need to see as far as his talent level. He broke my heart once again as a Lions fan in that divisional round. And I mean, he was terrific. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that, the Lions, we scored, I think, 31 points in that game and got blown out. I mean, that's pretty wild to happen. But Jaden Daniels, just high level, playing the game, with his mind, can do it with his legs, his arm, his deep ball, which a lot of people talked about coming into his rookie year. Is just his accuracy on those deep balls is amazing, and he did not disappoint. He threw a couple of those against the Lions and throughout the season. I mean, he was terrific. He was banged up a little bit as far as his, I believe it's his ribs that were injured. It wasn't anything that kept him off the field, but it was just some soreness that he was dealing with for a couple weeks. But he was terrific, and to play the way that he did in the playoffs, just unreal. I mean, I know that the Eagles beat him up pretty good in that NFC Championship game, but it's because the Eagles were loaded. Like that's not I don't think that's an indictment on them. I think that is more so the Eagles being that freaking good. So I have the Commanders finishing second in the division, and I've got the Cowboys finishing third. Everyone points to, with the Dallas Cowboys, how, 3 of the last 4 seasons, not including, this past season, that they finished with 12 wins. I think part of that, I think a good chunk of that is inflated because you had 4 games against really, really, really bad teams in what the Commanders were previously before they drafted, Jaden Daniels, and the Giants, who cannot seem to get it together, basically post-Eli. Had Daniels owns for a couple of years, but you played some really bad teams, and even if you go 3-1 against them, I mean, that is a massive swing to go from, 3-1 or 4-0 to just 2-2. They're like splitting that, that series with the teams. So if one year you go 4-0 and, it easily could have been 2-2 as far as with them not being an absolute dumpster fire. Well, now you go from a 12-win team to a 10-win team. And does the media have the same excitement about Dallas if they just win 10 games versus 12? I don't think so. And I don't think Dallas was truly 12 wins good. And it sounds crazy because they won 12 games, but I think it was inflated. I mean, you can be, was that Ben Roethlisberger, one of his last seasons with the Steelers? They started like 11-0 or 11-1. But nobody really took them serious because you could just see it. It's like, this is kind of fluky, man. Like, we get it. Like, yeah, you get credit for all the wins, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a quality team. And that's what I think with the Dallas Cowboys. Very flawed. Jerry Jones loves to just wait and wait and wait so he can make sure he pays his guy top dollar for whatever reason. He's probably cost himself, I don't know, $10 million with the Micah Parsons deal if you would have signed him as soon as he was available for an extension. But you just like to keep waiting. You did the same thing with CeeDee Lamb, did the same thing with Dak twice. So, hey, man, you know, for this big, I am a great businessman. You sure do give up a whole lot of money on stuff that you don't really need to. So that is my thoughts on the NFC East. Let me know your thoughts. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks. Peace.